Good day and welcome to today's Alteryx training. I am Fagban Kendi, a data scientist at Syndro. And today we're going to be looking at the preparation tools in Alteryx. And basically, the preparation tools helps to prepare your data for further transformation. And for today, we are going to be looking at the select record tool. Right, so the select record tool is actually a very interesting tool, and uh, it is used most times during troubleshooting, or you just want to choose like a random sample in your data set. All right, so it returns the record and of course ranges of records that you specify, and it does not have to be a continuous range. You can actually like have series of range, and then like I said, it's actually very useful for troubleshooting and sampling. If you just want to have like a random sample of your record, you can actually use the select tool to achieve that, right? So a known random sample, so it's just like you know the samples that want to be um, that will be in your output, right? Unlike the random tool where you probably gives you random every time you run the workflow. But for your select record tool, you actually know the record that is going to be given. All right. So and yeah, of course, for every tool in Alteryx, you have different configurations for these tools. For the select record tool, you can actually do a couple of things in the configuration. You can either select a single digit, and what I mean by single digit is that you can select a particular record. So, for example, you have um, 3,000 records, right? You can see you just want to see the 50th record, right? So you can just specify a single digit, and then for the second one, the negative prepend. And what I mean is that you can see I want to see from record 20 from record 1 to record 20, right? You can actually say that. You can say you want to see from the first record to the 50th record. So you can just say minus 50, which means I want to see from the first record to the 50th record, right? And that's just what negative prepend means. We're going to be looking at all these configurations and how to use this in this select record tool. And of course, one of the major configuration for the select record tool is having a range. So I can see I want to see from the 13th record to like the 60th record. So that's like a range. I can just choose any range I want to see in my data, right? And of course, the we have a negative prepend and then we have a positive append, right? And what that basically means is that you can, for the negative prepend, we saw that we can use like we can say want to have record from the first record to like a particular record, let's say 20th record. So from the first record to the 20th record. While the positive append, you can say want to have like from the 20th record to the last record, which is like maybe 3,000 record. If we have like 3,000 records. So you can see that the select records is actually very useful and right. And of course, you can, and why I said a known random sample or a known sample is because you can actually combine all this, right? And of course, you're going to obviously, know the records that are going to be returned. So it's not like a random sample. So you know that if you have a single digit of record 5, you know that it is record 5 that is going to be returned. So I don't say it as a random sampling tool, all right? So, and you can combine these different configurations um, by having it on a new line, right? And you can combine these different configurations. So let's look at the select record to see how it is being used. And you can see this is the color because it's in the preparation tool palette, and that's why it is colored blue. Okay, so moving straight to the select record tool. So for example, I'm just going to drag in just an input data. You can actually just try this with any data set. Okay, and then I'm going to just pick, for example, the popular Titanic data set, and then I'm going to just connect this. And I'm just going to bring this here, and then I'll run this of this data. And you can see we have here about 891 records. We have 891 records, and we have 12 fields, right? So let's bring in this select record to achieve some things, okay? I'm just going to drop this here, and then go to your preparation tool palette, and then you see this select record tool. Just in case you can't find it here, you just come to this button, this plus icon here, and then you click on that, and then you come to the preparation tool palette, and then look for the select record tool, and then here it is. If it's not checked, just check it, and then click on OK. Right, so, and then come back to the preparation tool palette, and then you can see the select record tool, and you drag this, and then you connect your browse tool to this. Okay, now look at the select record tool. So you can see Alteryx, tried, and then they even gave like a guide on how to use this tool. So you can see what I said about the single digit here, which is like 3, and then the negative prepend, which is like -2. And you can see the range, which is like 17 to 20, and then the positive append, which is like what 50 plus, right? So we're going to be looking at that for our data. So for example, here, so let's imagine we want to pick record 5 alone, right? So I'm going to come here and say 5. I'm going to clear this and say 5. Okay, and then I'm going to run this. You can see that I have what? This alone, right? You can see that I'm having just this, the passenger ID 5, right? Which was what's record 5 in here, right? You can see, which was record 5 in here. All right, so that's about it for the single digits. And then let's try for a negative prepend. So I'm just going to say -10, okay? And what would that do for me? If you look at this, just going to give me what? The first 10. So from the first record to what? To the 10th record. So you can see 10 is inclusive, right? So you can see that this is inclusive, right? Just, you can see this is inclusive. All right, so, and if I want to see, let's see, 700 plus. So let's look for the positive append, and then if we run this, you can see this is going to return what from 700 to the last record, right? Which is 891, right? So you can see how the positive append works, and then the negative prepend. Okay, let's pick like a range. So let's say I want to see from let's see, it's 70 to 880. Okay, so I'm just going to run this to see. Okay, you can see that it what picked the range from 870 to what 890. So you can see this is inclusive, just like the between clause in SQL, right? Where it is actually inclusive of both range. Okay, so like I said, you can actually combine these things. So let's combine this. Let's see. I just want to see from 888. That's about 3 records, and then want to see -3. I want to see. You must have it on a new line. So I want to see. Let's see, 10 to 12, and I want to see what. Let's do this as it's 9, or let's do this as it's 5, and 83. Okay, and do this as what? It's 9. So you can see range here, You can see single digit here. You can see this and that range, and then you can see positive. This positive append. This is negative prepend. This is negative prepend. Yeah, this is a range. So instead of a range here, I'll just change it to a single digit, and then we have a range here. So let's run this and see our record. So you can see here that we have what from 1 to 3, which is negative prepend. You can see from here to here, right? And then you can see I specified I want to say single digit of 10, which is here, right? And then you can see I said 880 to 885, and then you can see 880 to what 885, right? And then the last one is what positive append 889 downwards, right to the last record. So you can see how to use this. Now let's just try if we probably have something like 900, and we know that our field is just 891 records. So if we have something like 900 in here, what happens? So if you run this, you can see nothing will be returned instead of it giving you errors, right? And that's why I actually do like the select record too. Okay, so that's about it for the select record. So it actually comes in handy when you probably want to troubleshoot or you want to, pick like random samples. Not really random because you know the values or the records you are expecting. So and of course, if you have, you can actually use different configurations. You can mix them. It's not compulsory you use everything. So I can just come and say 880 and I want to see, let's say, -5, right? And then I'll run this. So it's not actually compulsory you use all the configurations, right? So, and then be mindful of the fact that they are on different lines. So if you probably have this and then you probably put a comma, right? You're going to see what happens. You can see it's just returning 880, right? It's just returning the first record. So you have to ensure that what this is on a new line, okay? With no commas, right? This is on a new line, it's no comma, right? So I'm just going to do this again and then see. So this is about it for the select record tool. I hope you enjoy this and see you next time. Thank you for watching.